Time for sound design. In today's video, I'm going to record this acoustic drum kit that you see behind me. So as you can see in the video, I rented a band practice room in the city. It's in the basement, 2 stories down. And in this band practice facility, there are several rooms. The one I rented was about 24 square meters and it had the Yamaha Stage Custom Birch drum kit. So what I did is I brought my Zoom H5 recorder and an SM57 microphone, a bunch of drumsticks, brushes and beaters, and I started recording single hits on the different drums, toms, cymbals, hi-hats. And since I cannot play the drums, I recorded single hits, and the goal was to record all these sounds, import them to Ableton, chop it all up and create a drum rack with these acoustic sounds. Besides these untreated single hits, I also created a drum kit where I processed the sounds a little bit, not all of them, but some of the kick and tom hits, I pitched them down, I added some subtle effects, and I will show you that as well. But first, let's go to Ableton and show you some of the original recordings. So here in Ableton, I organized it per instrument. So I have snare recordings, hi-hat, a few kicks, toms, there was mid, low and high, cymbal, and more snare recordings. So just to play you a few of the sounds that are directly recorded. So I recorded with one microphone, so they're all mono. So this is with the brush, I think, on the snare drum in the middle, to show you some toms that I recorded. Some more snare drums. These are more textural, with the brush rubbing the surface of the snare drum. What I did is I chopped all these sounds up and then I loaded them into a drum rack. So here is the drum rack. It has close to 64 different sounds in 4 times 16 slots. The first one, this is a kick. Recording the kicks was kind of difficult, so they're not great kicks, but I can definitely use them as percussion sounds. I have a lot of different snare sounds. I'll play you some. Yeah, so as you can hear, many great sounds. It became more of a percussion kit than a drum kit, I would say, in the end. There's a lot of subtle sounds, and I think the way to use this is to create percussive loops and then use that in a production together with like sampled drums or drum machines if you want to have that really low, that massive kick. So the next thing I did is I created a copy of this drum kit and called it effects, and now per sound I added some effects. For most of the sounds I only did EQ, but for instance the kick drum was not very usable as is. So what I did is that I tuned it down an octave, added some distortion, some more EQ and a bit of reverb, and then you create sounds like this. So that kick drum was quite subtle, like this, but with a few effects you create this. The second kick drum I actually pitched up 3 octaves. Put a reverb and a tremolo on it and create a really nice percussive sound. But as you can see, many sounds just have an EQ. And then I created this loop with it. So besides the one I just played, I created 7 more different loops that I'll play you now, just to show you the wide range of sounds you can create with this drum kit. So the second one is at a different tempo at 100 BPM. So I combined that massive boomy kick with the reverb together with the brush rubbing the snare drum to create this constant sort of noise texture. Another one is a 4-bar percussion loop at 93 BPM. Very different vibe. And then some kind of chill percussive loop at 80 BPM. little bit faster, 130 BPM hi-hat loop. Really have the brush that's a 124 BPM shaker loop. This can really nicely work for a dub techno with a nice 909 kick drum underneath. It's a subtle percussive loop. A more standard sort of boom bap percussion loop, 97 BPM. And then the last example at 105 BPM. A nice loose snare with a boomy tom. So hopefully this gives you some kind of idea of the wide range of different loops you can create with this kit. And it was really fun to actually record a acoustic drum kit. I've never done this before, and I see there's a lot of potential. I learned a lot by recording this, and there's many sounds you can create even with just one mic in a not ideal room. There's still a lot of usable sounds you can create from this drum kit, and with a bit of processing you can take it a long way. So I will use this more as a percussion kit than as a drum kit, so we'll combine it with drum machines and other drum sounds. So I see it more as an addition to that. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what your experience is with sampling acoustic drums, and as always, see you in the next one.